What's good, everybody? This is your boy Blackout Jones. In this episode, we're going to talk about the keys to victory for the Tennessee Volunteers. What is it that they're going to have to do to actually win this game, and what else they're going to have to not do to lose this game? I'm going to talk about that and a whole lot more, but before I do, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, like, comment, share, do all those great things. For those that have subscribed, for those that continue to support, thank you for your support. But you know how we do it, because you know where you're at. Just shoot the sports. Let's get it.
Survive if I let you.
All right, so what is the keys to victory? Well, of course, score a lot of points, score more than the opposition, no turnovers, play a clean game, not a lot of sacks, be able to run the ball, of course, like I said, be able to pass the ball with efficiency, and play great defense. Know your gap assignments, play the ball, do all the things that you need to do to be successful in your matchup. This is a big one, a very big one. I talked about it in my last episode. 8-game losing streak, 4-game losing streak under Heupel. Our last win it seemed like it was our grandstand, our grand finale, at the time. Before that, we had, I think at that time, we was on a 2-game winning streak against Georgia. We beat Mark Richt, and then Kirby Smart came in and took over, and then we beat that team. But after that, it's been downhill for Tennessee, and it's been nothing but dominance for the University of Georgia, not only beating us, but, winning SEC championships, winning national championships, winning back-to-back national championships. That's something that we've been longing for since 1998. Our other best chance was 2001, when we lost to LSU. We just got the big head and we played out of character. And then, of course, I want to say, was that 2007? We had one before that. We played Auburn, which I felt like we didn't really have a shot. That Auburn team was a great team. And then we played LSU again in the SEC championship game. And, of course, we didn't win that one as well. But this is, I truly believe this is our greatest opportunity to beat Georgia, to beat this Kirby Smart-led team this year. They still have dogs. Don't get it twisted, no pun intended. They still have dogs on that defensive line, but they don't have dogs, like the likes of Jalen Carter, Kobe Dean, Jordan Davis, those guys that were able to plug that middle and were just able to run roughshod through our offensive line. They don't have those type of guys, but let's not underestimate. This is still a Kirby Smart-led defense. This is his forte. This is what he played at Georgia. So you can't look past that just because those caliber of players are not there anymore. Now, with that being said, of course, I have some notes here that I took down. And just over the last 4 years, what it has looked like and why I think we have lost those games. Now, as far as the turnover margin in those games, there really wasn't a turnover margin. So that didn't have anything to do with it. It was just about execution, not able to, hit the deep ball and be accurate with our passes and have a, somewhat of a legit run game. I mean, there have been years where, like last year, we ran for 152 yards. Still took an L. Years before that, I think we ran for 130 yards. Still took an L. But average-wise, the Georgia Bulldogs passing average, 283.25 compared to our 210.25. So definitely have to take care of business through the air. And I truly believe we have the quarterback that can do that. We have the wide receivers that can do that. And I think I ain't gonna say I think, I know we have a chip on our shoulder, that bad taste in our mouth and at Ohio State at the Horseshoe. I think is truly a motivational tool for this team. Of course, the Nico Iamaleava situation definitely has brought this team together even more. Even, listening to Braylon Staley, saying that, hey, this is the guy, this is our guy, this is our quarterback. He's a true leader. You can look at it as taking shots, but I look at it as somebody wasn't a leader, somebody wasn't commanding that locker room and especially commanding that same respect on the field. But it is what it is. But let's get back to the averages. Rushing average for Georgia, 166.5 to our 107.75. So there were games earlier in Josh Heupel's career where we just wasn't running the ball well whatsoever, and we had to rely on the passing game. But neither one of those worked out for us. Turnover average, Georgia looks like they only turned the ball over twice. We actually turned the ball over, I want to say one time. So like I said, the turnover margin was never really an issue in regards to why we continue to lose to Georgia. Now, sacks, they average 4.5. Hell, I don't even know if we sniffed the quarterback. 0.75. I mean, if you want to round it out and consider it one sack as our average, whoop-de-doo. We got to do more on defense. Tim Banks, this is a game, and I hope that you've learned from the past. This is a game where you have to, if you have to throw the kitchen sink at these boys. You can't be conservative. You can't continue to play zone. I think we have the horses in the back, in the secondary, that can play man-to-man and hold their own to allow our defensive line to get to the quarterback. Now, Gunnar Stockton, he is a runner. There may be times we need to put a spy out there for him. But how is he going to play in that environment that is Neyland Stadium, with it being Checker Neyland, this weekend? This is a big game for him. This is the big game. Now, I know he came in, last year during the SEC championship game, but you could kind of tell, the nerves, the jitters, they were there. Then I want to say he played in the playoffs, and you could just tell that the offense was totally different with Gunnar Stockton, running the offense, running the team. But this is a new year. Kirby has stated that he's looked good in practice, but for some reason, he can't take what he's doing in practice and put it in the game. Let us not be the team that allows him to bring what he does in practice and make him look good in the game, which he hasn't done the past two games against inferior opponents. Let's not be that, because we did that with a guy that I roast each and every week, that I roast ever since he's been in the NFL, and that's Anthony Richardson. We allowed Anthony Richardson to go off like he was a Heisman frontrunner. Before that and after that, he was mediocre at best against any other team. And somehow he got drafted number 4, and we see what the fruits of no labor looks like. But that's nor here nor there. But anyway, I think we have a shot. I truly believe we have a chance. Would I be shocked if we could blow Georgia out? Yes. Would I be shocked, if we were to lose to Georgia with the team that we have? I don't know. I just don't know at this point, because this is one of the big three that Heupel has had issues with. Has the offseason and the loss to Ohio State and the loss to Georgia, of course, the loss to Arkansas, that should have never happened. Does that allow Heupel to evolve his offense? And does he have a game plan just for them? Because Kirby has seen it all. He's seen what we've done. Even with one of the greatest quarterbacks in UT history, with Hendon Hooker, he's seen it. He's seen our offense. This year, we got to come with something different. Yes, we're going to have our wideouts being wide. Yes, we're going to run, looks like, 12 personnel and all that stuff. But I truly believe that they're going to have some wrinkles for Georgia. But in order for that to work, the offensive line has to play lights out. Now, another thing I want to point out with the keys to victory. We have a lot of guys on this team that you know, didn't really play in these series. There's still a couple that have lingered over, but there's a lot of guys like the Braylon Staleys, like the Mike Matthews, the Sam Piddletons, the Wendell Moyes, you know, the Satterwhites, the Perrys. You know, could it possibly be that they just don't have the losing mentality and they're going to bring the winning mentality into this game? There is no, you know how everybody looked at Alabama, hell, before the kickoff, shit, you was already intimidated. Mike Tyson back in the day. Hell, before the first round, hell, probably even during the prelims, you was already intimidated. You already took an L in your head. Can these guys, I'm going to say, can these guys, do y'all think that these guys have a winning mentality and that they're not, we're not worried about Georgia and that doesn't intimidate us at all? I think so. And I think they're going to show that on the field from everywhere. Offensive line, skill players, running backs, quarterback, DBs. I really, truly believe that this game here, they are going to come out, they're going to play Tennessee football at its best, probably that we've not seen ever in the hypo era. And if that is true, get ready, fans. Get ready, Vol Nation. There's a celebration on the horizon. But once that celebration's over with, there's still business to take care of because Georgia just can't be our SEC championship. Georgia just can't be our national championship. This has to be a stepping stone to greater and greater things to come in 2025 for the Tennessee football program. And with that being said, you know who I am. You know where we are. Blackout Jones, just shooting the sports. And anytime I talk about that power T, that right there too, the little power T, you know what it is. Go Big Orange and go Vols.
Survive.